And essentially, he was already drunk as soon as he started driving.
The people of the state of Michigan versus David Mark Bigelow. This is case number 254447 FD. Mr. Hartel, can you grab Mr. Harrison by chance? We are. Appearances, counsel? Oh, now Mr. Musical chairs with attorneys today. There we go. Appearances, counsel?
Dave Carnes on behalf of the people.
And I'm Jeff Harrison. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Bigelow. He's joining me at the table, sitting to my right.
We are here for a preliminary examination on the only matter going before the court today would be the OWI third. Is there any resolution in this matter?
Not unless Mr. Carnes has something to tell me, but
No, Your Honor. No, I'm
then
not
no,
aware of any.
Any preliminary matters we need to discuss?
I have nothing.
Nothing on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
All right, your first witness then, Mr. Carnes?
Yes, Your Honor. The people call Trooper Hoffmeister, and I needed a moment to try to track him down.
Do you need hearing? Help with hearing?
Mr. Bigelow, are you able to hear okay, or do you need some assistance?
Just a little bit louder.
Can we get one of the hearing devices?
You're not alone, Dave. Thank you, Your Honor.
You ready for the troop?
Yes.
Trooper, if you want to come up here. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You may have a seat. Mr. Bigelow, is that better?
Yes, sir.
All right. Counsel, Mr. Bigelow is having some difficulty hearing, so if everybody could speak up, I'd appreciate it. Whenever you're ready, Mr. Carnes.
Trooper, can you please state your name for the record?
Trooper Logan Hoffmeister,
And can you please spell that?
LOGANHOFMEISTER,
And where are you employed?
with the Michigan State Police out of the Cadillac Post.
Were you working on October 18th of this year?
I was.
And do you recall being dispatched that evening around 8?
I did.
Where were you dispatched to?
I was initially put out as a BOL or a be on the lookout for a reported intoxicated driver. It was then reported that the intoxicated driver had parked at a residence of 801 Bell Avenue in Heron Township, Wexford County.
And what did you do after that report came in?
I made contact with the complainant, got his, interviewed him, he showed me a video of the said intoxicated driver, and then from there I made contact with the reported intoxicated driver at the lab.
What, if anything, did you observe when you arrived at 801 Bell Avenue?
I observed the defendant in his underwear in a back room I could see through an open window from the residence. I spoke to him, his speech was slurred, and he's sweating profusely. Sounded to me like he was intoxicated from that distance. Then I instructed him to come outside and talk to him outside.
So explain this, he's inside the house, you're talking to him, how is that possible?
There was on front of the residence, there was an open window, it had been slid open. There's a female sitting at a table there. And then I could see the defendant, Mr. Bigelow, and straight back off the window farther to the residence.
Okay. And you've called this person Mr. Bigelow. Were you able, how did you get his identity?
We have previous contact with him, so I just ran his name and I was able to verify his identity through his SOS characteristics.
Okay. And the person you just described as Mr. Bigelow, do you see him in the courtroom today?
He is to my left, your right, wearing a camo jacket.
Your Honor, may the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant?
Mr. Harrison?
No objection.
It shall so reflect.
So when you're talking with the defendant through the window, what happens next?
He said he's gonna get dressed before he came outside. Then I talked to the female, I'm drawing a blank on her name at this moment, Liz with Mr. Bigelow. I asked her about what was going tonight, and then she told me that Mr. Bigelow was intoxicated. And he was
Objection, hearsay.
So don't tell me anything that she
I
told
apologize.
you. That's
Sustained.
What happened? So skipping over anything she told you, what happened next?
Mr. Bigelow came outside. I spoke to him for a short time. I tried to get him to run through field sobriety tests. He refused all field sobriety tests and he refused a PBT.
Now, what were your observations of him once he was outside?
I could smell very strong odor of intoxicants emanating from his person. His eyes appeared to be bloodshot, glossy. He was sweating, appeared to be sweating profusely, he was stumbling around, and he wasn't making very much sense. He was slurring his words. He's repeating the same statements again. It wasn't really, his statements weren't really making sense.
Um, Based on dispatch descriptions and any other things you were,
I'm also gonna object as to hearsay.
Now let's see what the question is first.
so based on, did you have a suspect vehicle based on your investigation?
It was a
I'll question, the answer will depend on whether or not it's hearsay.
Okay, please continue.
the vehicle I observed in the driveway was a goldish tannish in color Chevy Equinox, I believe. I don't remember the plate of the vehicle. It was the same vehicle that was described in the BOL.
What observations, if any, did you make of this vehicle?
There was a cell phone in the front driver's seat that I later confirmed as Mr. Bigelow's cell phone.
How were you able to confirm that as Mr. Bigelow's?
I could hear Mr. Bigelow arguing with the female in the residence about not being able to find his phone, and she held up a cell phone saying this is mine. And then I had her call Mr. Bigelow's phone, and then Trooper Patton observed that the phone was ringing in the front driver's seat.
What, if any, statements did defendant make that you were able to understand?
I remember exactly what he said. I didn't have a chance to review my body cam footage.
How long ago did this occur?
I pulled up on a month ago. Close to a month ago.
Okay. Did you do anything close in time to document this incident? What, if anything, did you do close in time to this incident to document it?
I had my report that I typed out.
And would reviewing that report refresh your memory as to any statements defendant might have made?
I did not bring my report with me.
Okay, but if you were able to review that report, would it refresh your memory?
Yes.
I would ask that the witness be allowed to review this report.
Mr. Harrison, any objection?
And no objection, just to clarify, you're seeking a recitation of statements allegedly attributed to the defendant?
Yes.
Okay.
Trooper, reviewing that report, would that refresh your memory as to whether or not there were statements made and what those statements would be?
Yes, sir.
I'll
Give the trooper a copy of his report.
I'll also state I saw you showed Mr. Harrison that before approaching the witness.
Yeah, without objection.
Hey there, sorry to interrupt the video, but I wanted to take a moment to let you know that TCF is a channel that is 100% human created and human driven. There's so much AI slop out there on YouTube right now, especially in the LawTube space, that I think it's important to point out that every video that we have here on this channel is human created, human curated. We make all the decisions, we do all the editing, it's all us. So if you appreciate that human touch and that human interaction, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you aren't already. Leave us a comment on the video, put a thumbs up. Those things really help us. And if you want even more human interaction, consider joining us for our live show every weekday morning. Okay, sorry to interrupt. Back to the video.
Memory refreshed.
What, if anything, do you recall the defendant telling you?
The defendant, for the majority of our conversation, I couldn't understand the word he was saying. Either it was super slurred or was mumbling, or it was just almost like a gibberish he was speaking. So I couldn't really understand him. But I was able to determine that he was saying that told me that he was not driving. Other than that, everything else he said he was.
What, if anything, did you do after observing the defendant?
After observing him, I tried to get an interview with him. I eventually placed him under arrest for OWI after interviewing all the witnesses and reviewing the video they provided with me of him driving, and after attempting to get him to do sobriety, they placed him under arrest. I read him his DI 177, which is his best rights. He denied a blood draw, so I had to type a search warrant for his blood.
What happened after you typed that search warrant?
I obtained a search warrant for his blood. I don't recall the magistrate that signed it. I then transported Mr. Bigelow to the Cadillac Mountain Hospital. From there, I witnessed a phlebotomist draw 2 vials of blood from his arm. And then from there, he was lodged at the Works County Jail.
What observations, what did you observe of when the phlebotomist was taking blood?
I observed that the phlebotomist checked the date on our blood kits just to verify that it was not expired. She used the non-alcohol pad in his arm. I don't recall which exact arm she drew from or her name. And then she drew 2 vials of blood from that same arm. I recorded the times, and then she packaged the blood in the blood draw kit. After all the forms were signed, it got sealed and signed, or signed, not signed, but initialed, and then from there it got sent out to the lab.
Okay, good. Do you know what the status of the you're back from the lab?
No, but I'm checking tomorrow when I check on duty tomorrow. I've been off the past couple of weeks, so I'm checking. Yeah.
Okay. You described a video you watched. Can you explain what was?
Objection, the video's hearsay.
Mr. Carnes?
He's testified he watched a video shown to him by somebody. You don't think the video is hearsay on its own. I'm just asking for his observations of what he watched.
Do you plan on introducing the video?
We don't have it yet.
But he viewed the video himself.
He viewed the video on somebody else's phone. I think he's testified to that already.
I'll allow it.
Can you describe what the video you watched?
Yes, so the 2 of the witnesses recorded the incident. They showed me the video. In the video, it's recorded from the front passenger seat of the witness vehicle. You can see goldish tannish color Chevy Equinox pass by the vehicle, what appears to be a high rate of speed. And that the vehicle is slowing up, or speeding up, slowing down, brake checking the vehicle. It looks like it's swerving a little bit, maybe. And then I believe at one time it crossed the center line and then made a turn without using a signal.
Could you see anyone in this Chevy Equinox?
No, it's the camera footage is not very high quality and it's dark out during the time of the video. You can hear someone exit the driver's seat, and I heard Mr. Bigelow's voice, and the witnesses. I'm sorry. I could hear Mr. Bigelow's voice in the video, but I could not make out identifying features due to the low camera quality and the darkness.
Thank you, Trooper. I have no further questions at this time.
Mr. Harrison?
You have no test results at all. You don't have a blood test.
I've not received any yet.
Okay. You don't have a PBT.
I did not.
Okay. You didn't use the intoxilizer to jail.
No, since he refused, we went blood.
Okay, all right. But you don't have any results of that.
Not at this moment. No.
Okay. And this video, you couldn't identify Mr. Bigelow visually in the video?
I was not able to know.
Okay. Do you have any independent way of knowing when that video was taken, other than what somebody told you?
I believe there was a timestamp at the top of the video, but I can't say that for certain.
Okay, you can't say for certain that it was time stamped or date stamped or anything like that, correct? Okay, and it was taken on somebody else's phone who subsequently showed it to you.
Correct.
So you never independently observed Mr. Bigelow driving anything anywhere that night?
No, I did not observe him driving myself.
Okay. You did observe a vehicle in his driveway with his phone in it?
Correct.
Okay. And you encountered Mr. Bigelow, you didn't say what time. What time did you encounter him at Bell Avenue?
I don't
address?
recall the time off the top of my head, but I know it was within a few minutes of the time of BOL because I was
Okay,
close. I was at the McDonald's, which is just around the block.
right around the corner, so approximately 8 o'clock at night.
I can't testify to the exact time.
Okay,
but
that's fair enough. And you believed him to be intoxicated at that juncture?
It's the short statements I had between him through the open window. I've arrested a lot of truck drivers in the past 2 years. I've dealt with a lot of intoxicated people, and based on what I was seeing and how he's sounding to me, and how
Sure.
he's carrying himself, he appeared to be intoxicated.
Sure.
Through the open window.
Sure. Okay. But you don't know what his blood alcohol level was?
I do not know.
Okay, thank you. I think I have some other questions. Let me look. Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you, Trooper.
Mr. Carnes?
Trooper, can you give me the names of everyone you talked to?
Not off the top of my head.
Would reviewing that report again refresh your memory as to the individuals you spoke with that evening?
Yes, sir.
I would ask that he be allowed to review his report again.
Mr.
I
Harrison?
don't know what the relevance is. If he has other witnesses, he can certainly call them. It doesn't really matter who the trooper spoke to. That would all be hearsay.
Mr. Carnes?
I think that I'm just asking the names so that I can, based on their testimony, show the court that he had probable cause to make an arrest based on what he heard other people say. I guess if defense is willing to stipulate these to the people he talked to, that would save some time.
So I see where Mr. Harrison's coming from, but I also think you've got the right to, but are these people listed in the report?
They're listed in the report. They're subpoenaed here
So you-
today.
They are subpoenaed here?
Yeah, we are going to hear from them directly.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Memory is refreshed.
Okay, thank you. And who did you speak with?
Justin and Christina Crosby, and then Donna Wright.
Thank you.
Mr. Harrison?
I have nothing further. Thank you, man.
This witness be excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
Trooper, you may step down. Temporary or permanent, Mr. Carnes?
He's my officer in charge, so
Fair
temporary.
enough. Your next witness, sir?
Other people call Justin Crosby.
Mr. Crosby, you'll make your way up here, and before you have a seat, if you'll face me and raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You may have a seat.
Before we get started, Your Honor. Yes, this witness was not sequestered. He was present for the entirety of the officer's testimony.
There was not a sequestration request put in place.
There's not one that's implied in this sort of case.
You didn't request one. I asked if there were any preliminary matters, so.
I'll be sure to note that in the future.
Thank you. Mr. Carnes?
Thank you. Are you making such a request right now?
The bell's already rung.
Well,
He's
do you,
gonna
hold on,
repeat
do you have other witnesses?
I
you
have
intend to
other
call?
witnesses. I don't, and I,
Do you want a sequestration order?
Yeah,
All right, the court will order a sequestration. Any witnesses expected to testify in this case, I'm going to ask that you step out into the lobby, please. Mr. Carnes, you know who those are?
yeah, Christiana Crosby. Yep, can you please just step out in the lobby until you're called? And Donna Wright? If you can also step out in the lobby, thank you.
Mr. Carnes?
Thank you. Can you please state your name?
Justin James Crosby.
And do you recall having contact with the police during the evening of October 18th?
I do.
Where were you when you had contact?
81 Bell Avenue,
And why did you have contact?
because I observed David Bigelow driving under the influence of alcohol.
What exactly did you observe? You said you observed him operating under the influence.
David Bigelow getting in the vehicle. After I observed him stumbling, I've known David Bigelow majority of my life. So I pretty much know when he's been drinking. Then I passed him on. And called the attorney, well, called off this way.
Okay. Was there any amount of time between, you said you saw him stumble, get in his vehicle, and then you saw him on Farrar Street? How much time occurred between all of that?
I don't know.
Okay, I mean, can you take a guess? Was it 5 minutes? Was it an hour?
objection calls for speculation.
Mr. Crosby, are you able to ballpark how long that was?
On a guess, 3 to 5 minutes?
3 to 5?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carnes?
Thank you. And what, if anything, did you notice when you saw him driving on Farrar Street?
When I passed him, I do believe I observed him taking a drink of an alcoholic beverage while driving down Farr Street.
What type of container was?
A tall boy.
Did you observe any markings on the can?
I do believe it was black and red. And normally when Mr. Bigelow had those cans, it was either natural ice or natty daddy, people say.
What did you do when you saw this?
I reported it to Central Dispatch.
The person you've described as Mr. Bigelow, do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do. He's seated two gentlemen in black, and I believe his right side in the camouflage jacket.
May the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant?
Mr. Harrison?
No objection.
It shall so reflect.
Do you call approximately what time of day it was, or night, or
It was nighttime. I would have to reflect on what waiting about.
Is there anything else you observed about the driving?
I had my wife record it on her cellular device. Mr. Bigelow was driving irrationally. He was swerving. We went up Air Street. We made a left on Wheeler Street. Then we made another left on Riverside. And when we got on Dandy side, Mr. Bigelow, I was roughly around 25 to 27 miles an hour on Dandy Street, and Mr. Bigelow passed me at a high rate speed going towards 13th Street on Dandy Street. When he passed me, in the video, it showed Mr. Bigelow brake checked me. And further into it, Mr. Bigelow also brake checked me on Hanthorne Street behind the fairgrounds. Then after he brake checked me on Hanthorne Street, I was traveling roughly 35, 40 miles an hour down Hanthorne Street, and Mr. Bigelow almost drove almost farther than what my cameras could see on how fast he was driving down Hanthorne Street. Then when he turned on Bell Avenue, he roasted his tires, squawked them. When he turned on the 80 main on the Bell Avenue, then when he turned into his residence at 801 Bell Avenue, it also shows in the video that he ran into his trash can and drove over it.
Can you give me an estimate of how much time after you observed this that the police arrived?
There wasn't a long wait period. But at this time stamp it, I would say roughly 10 to 20 minutes, if that.
Thank you, sir. I have no other questions at this time of Mr. Harrison.
Mr. Harrison?
Did you provide a copy of this video to the trooper?
I did. I think that trooper right there was still dealing with Mr. Bigelow at the time. I think he was placing him under arrest, if I can remember properly. His partner and a cadet walked up to me and my wife, because I was parked at Merle's Automotive, and his partner recorded, because my wife was having a hard time emailing it to the officer's email. So at the time, his partner recorded off of his, I think, work phone, the video off of it.
So it's your understanding that the trooper took a video of the video?
Yes, sir.
Okay, in front of you?
Yes, sir. It was done on the front end of my car.
Okay. All right. And you. Okay. I had a question. I forgot. I need to check my notes.
Yeah.
It got buried under something. Okay. Okay, I guess I don't have any further questions for Mr. Crosby. I'm sorry.
Mr. Carnes?
No further questions.
May this witness be excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
permanent or temporary?
Permanent, it's fine.
Sir, you are free to go about your day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your next witness?
The people called Christiana Crosby.
Ma'am, you're going to work your way up next to me at this chair up here. And before you have a seat, I'll need you to turn and face me and raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You may have a seat. Whenever you're ready, Mr. Carnes.
Thank you. Can you please state your name for the record?
Christiana Crosby,
And can you spell that as well?
Kristiana.
Do you recall seeing the police the evening of October 18th, 2025?
I do.
And where were you when you saw the police?
I was in the parking lot of the house.
How is it that you came to be in contact with the police?
My husband had called the police to report the drunk driver. And I was filming the whole thing while it was happening. And so when we finally pulled up to the 801 Girl Avenue, my husband pulled into the parking lot of Merle's and we waited for the police to show up.
What were you able to observe just prior to this?
Swerving on the road, kind of driving very weirdly, like speeding and hitting his brakes a lot. And then whenever he went to pass us, he sped really fast and on a 2-lane road, and he was just going really fast and swerving. And then when we were trying to stay kind of not on him, but back, he started to hit his brakes. Like his brake check.
What kind of vehicle was this?
What happened?
No, the one that you saw brake checking you and all the other stuff you described.
The tan Chevy. In the market's town.
And where did you observe where this vehicle was when you were at Merrill's?
It was parked right out front 801.
Were you able to observe the driver of that vehicle during
It
this?
was.
And did you recognize the driver?
Yes, I did.
And who did you recognize him to be?
David Bigelow.
Did you see that person in court today?
Yes, sir, I did.
Can you tell me where he's seated and something that he's wearing?
Camo jacket to my left, your right.
May the witness, may the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
Mr. Harrison. It shall so reflect.
Had you seen Mr. Bigelow before he was in the driver's seat of the tan Chevy?
Yes, I did.
And where did you see him?
My husband had followed his mom to go see, or to make sure nothing bad happened. And I saw him pull her out of the car while he was stumbling to, and I saw him get into the driver's seat.
And when you saw him get into the driver's seat, can you tell me approximately how long that was before you saw him stop driving?
I do not recall, I'm sorry.
Can you give me a rough estimate? Was it 2 hours? Was it a day, 15 minutes?
Maybe 10 minutes or so.
No further questions right now.
Mr. Harrison?
Fair to say you knew who Mr. Bigelow was?
Kind of.
You mentioned something about your husband following his mom. Who's your husband's mom?
Donna Wright,
Okay, and she's somehow affiliated with Mr. Bigelow?
yes,
They're in a relationship of some kind?
at that time, yes.
Okay, so you did know who Mr. Bigelow was prior to this evening? Okay, he's dating your mother-in-law?
Yeah,
Fair enough.
fair enough.
Okay, I know it's hard to think of old people dating, but bear with me. Okay. So your husband's name is Justin
Yes, sir.
Crosby, okay. And he was following Mr. Bigelow for some reason?
Actually, he was following his mom to make sure nothing bad happened because she was scared that,
Okay, don't tell me anything about that.
But yeah,
You're
she-
saying, but I hear what you're saying, okay.
so
So is it your testimony that you believe that Ms. Wright was in the vehicle the whole time?
yes,
Even when it pulled up to 801 Bell Avenue?
or she was in the vehicle, yes,
So she got out of the vehicle at Bell Avenue
yes, on the passenger side,
and went inside?
yes.
Okay. Does it seem right that about 20 minutes later, the police arrived? That seems accurate? Okay. So your observation of Mr. Bigelow was that he was stumbling?
Yes, he was stumbling, and whenever he got to 801 Bell Avenue, he ran over his trash can.
Okay. And then he too went inside the residence there?
He approached our vehicle,
Okay.
and then
Is that a house or like a couple of apartments or?
it's, I think the house turned into an apartment.
Okay, so it's a divided up house
Yeah,
and the address is, it's 801?
yes,
Okay. So kind of kitty corner to Merrill's Auto where you were.
I believe so.
Okay. I just can't picture in my head. I'm going through it. Okay, thank you. Nothing further.
Mr. Carnes?
No further questions, Your Honor.
May this witness be excused.
Yes, Your Honor, permanently.
All right, ma'am, you are free to go about your day. Your next witness, Mr. Carnes?
Your Honor, the people called Donna Wright.
Right around this way, ma'am. That's right. Will you please raise your right hand, your other hand? Other hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Are you able to hear me okay?
I have a hard time hearing.
Go ahead and have a seat. Is that better? All right. Mr. Carnes, whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon. Can you please state your name? And can you please spell your name?
Last one,
Yep.
WRIGHT.
Okay. And where were you living in middle of October of this year? Do you know David Bigelow?
Yes, I do.
How do you know him?
We went way back.
Do you see him in court today? Can you tell me something that he's wearing?
Camouflage jacket.
Your Honor, based on the angle she was pointing at in the description, I'd ask the court to reflect on the record that she's identified the defendant.
For the record, she pointed at the area towards defense counsel table. Mr. Harrison,
I have no objection to her identification of Mr. Bigelow.
the record will so reflect.
Ms. Wright, do you recall coming into contact with the police on October 18th of this year?
Yes.
And where was that at?
At,
And prior to the police arriving, how long had you been at home?
see, maybe an hour.
And do you remember approximately what time of day or night you
It was
got?
at night, but I don't remember.
Okay. And where had you been prior to coming home?
I was already home. But then, he called me to pick him up, because he was drinking. He told me to get home. To pick him up, bring him home. Well, when I did, I got out. He came around the driver's side, pulled me by my arm and pulled me out, and he took over driving.
Okay, where was that you picked him up at?
I would say between Far and Wright Street.
And I know where that is, but can you tell me in what city was that?
Right in Cadillac.
Thank you. What were your observations of him, right when you said he pulled you out and,
I didn't want to argue with him.
okay,
I just got over on the passenger side.
yep. What if any observations of him did you make at that time?
I didn't know what to think. I just wanted it over.
Okay, how was he acting at that time?
You know, when he was driving, I don't want to run the street behind the fairground. And he tried to pass cars and everything, he's going with the speed limit. And I was screaming to make him stop, and he was. I was about to jump out.
Other than passing cars, did you make any observations of how he was acting?
What do you mean?
Could you,
He's drunk all the way.
okay,
I mean, totally drunk. When he was still pulling our driveway, he hit garbage can, he broke the wheel on the garbage can, driving.
What, if any, other signs did you see that he was drunk?
Stand up. Couldn't talk, clear his words.
What happened? So you described he hit the garbage can, pulled into the driveway.
Then he went towards the garbage can. And it hit the tire and all that, and then it stopped.
What happened after that?
I went in. I didn't know. That's when the police came and talking to my son and him.
Um, After you saw him hit the garbage can, you went inside.
Yeah, I did.
Did you see the defendant after that?
Only outside, because I was in the house when they were talking to him.
Okay.
And they were asking me a few words, you know, with my name and everything, you know. But after that, I seen him go to jail.
Okay. Did you, before, right after you got out of the car, did you see Mr. Bigelow enter the house at all?
Yeah, I did. He came in the house with him going to the shower. Came back out and then came back out the club. Please.
Did you see Mr. Bigelow have any alcohol to drink after you got home? Thank you, ma'am. I don't have any other questions. Hold on though, Mr. Harrison might have some questions.
Mr. Harrison?
Good afternoon, Donna. I think we went to high school together.
We did.
Okay, look familiar. You said you got home and about an hour later, the cop showed up.
About an hour to a half hour. something like
Okay.
that.
So somewhere in
It
there.
was in between there.
All right. And you saw Dave come home, you came home with him and enter the house. And to the best of your knowledge, he didn't have anything else to drink at your place.
I didn't see him, no.
Okay. But were you watching him the whole time or were you angry with him? And,
I wasn't mad at him, no.
okay, were you sitting in one room and he was in another room of the house?
I was sitting in the bedroom at first, because that's where the TV was.
Yeah.
Then I came back out, because with us, you know, I just didn't touch him.
Okay, that's fair enough. You didn't know what to think.
No, I didn't.
Okay. And you said you observed the policeman, one of the policemen, doesn't really matter which one, speaking with your son.
I didn't see it,
Okay,
but he was over by, that card lot over there.
affordable,
No,
Merle's Auto Service?
I think so.
Okay.
One that right there, but,
A repair shop that has
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
parking around it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Justin, is your son, correct? He was over by Merrill's.
yeah,
How did you know he spoke to the police?
because I seen him going back and forth.
You saw the police go back and forth.
Yeah.
How did Justin happen to be at Merrill's, do you know?
I don't,
Okay, so you were sitting at home minding your own business. You said Dave called you, Mr. Bigelow, and said, come get me, I need a ride.
Yeah.
Did you then call Justin and say,
No, I didn't. I
okay,
went by myself.
okay, so you didn't,
I didn't know he was around.
okay, you didn't know Justin was there until he got there. Okay. I think that's all the questions I had. Let me check my notes real quick, okay? No, I think that's it. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Carnes,
I have no further questions.
may this witness be excused?
Yes, permanently.
All right, Ms. Wright, thank you for being here today. You're free to go about your day. Next witness, Mr. Carnes.
Your Honor, I have no other witnesses. I would ask the court to accept two exhibits pursuant to notice of given pursuant to the rule of evidence 902.
Exhibits 1 and 2.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court has been provided People's Exhibit number 1. That is a certified with the raised seal judgment of sentence from the 84th District Court. People of the State of Michigan versus David Mark Bigelow, case number 96-4705A-OD-1. Shows the defendant pled guilty to operating under the influence of liquor. Mr. Carnes, are you moving for submission?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection, Mr. Harrison?
No,
One is
those were provided brought to my attention pursuant to notice. Courtroom.
One is received. People's Exhibit number 2 is another certified with the raised seal judgment of sentence out of the 84th District Court. People of the State of Michigan versus David Mark Bigelow, case number 99-7095-FD-1. Shows that the defendant pled guilty to an count of OUIL per se, OWI second offense. Mr. Carnes, are you moving for its admission?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Harrison, any objection?
None.
Two is received. Any further proofs, Mr.
No,
Carnes?
Your Honor, thank you.
Any proofs, Mr. I'm sorry, Mr. Harrison?
No proofs today, Your Honor.
Argument, Mr. Carnes?
Thank you, Your Honor. I ask the court to bind the defendant over as charged on operating while intoxicated. Third offense, there are the prior convictions. We also have the trooper's observations that the defendant was slurring speech. He smelled like a strong odor of intoxicants. And he refused any field sobriety tests, as well as the PVT. We also have the trooper's testimony that he spoke with all of the witnesses we heard from today. Sienna Crosby did testify that the vehicle she observed was a tan Chevy Avalanche or Equinox, which matches the trooper's description of the Chevy Equinox parked in the driveway. All of the witnesses identified the defendant as driving the vehicle, except the trooper who did not observe the defendant driving the vehicle. And then I think most importantly, we have Ms. Wright's testimony that when she picked him up from someplace in the city of Cadillac near Farrar and Wright Streets, he was totally drunk, was what she testified. Fast passing cars, and then he hit the garbage can as he pulled into the driveway. That matches the testimony of the other witnesses. She testified he couldn't stand up. And essentially he was already drunk as soon as he started driving. We are still waiting on a blood result, but I think for today's purposes of probable cause, we've met that burden. And I'd ask the court to bind us over. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison.
Well, the law doesn't prescribe drinking and driving. There's nothing illegal about having something to drink and then driving a vehicle. It becomes a crime when you're impaired by that or you're .08. Aside from Ms. Wright's testimony as a layperson, that, you know, that he was totally drunk, and those weren't her words. We don't have anything else to establish that he was drunk at the time that's necessary here. It's interesting to observe that there appears to be some agreement from the officer that he was drunk later on, which could have been anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour after he arrived back at 801 Bell Avenue. Again, there wouldn't be any crime whatsoever if he came home and had something to drink. And even if he got very, very drunk and spoke gibberish and slurred his words at that point in time, we don't have enough to establish that all of the elements of this crime were committed. For example, we don't have a blood alcohol level at any point until well after the events in question took place. I'm aware that we could relate that back, but we don't have one. We don't have any sort of field sobriety test. We don't have a PBT. We don't have anything to establish that element of the crime except observations by other people who are not in law enforcement and do not have the appropriate training. I understand the trooper's position when he said, I thought he was drunk. I think most troopers can recognize when somebody's drunk. I'll take that as a given. I don't know how that works in the real world with other people. The other thing that I find curious is the involvement of Mr. Crosby. Obviously, something happened. He began following Mr. Bigelow and he followed him home. There's ample testimony that I think would establish that Mr. Bigelow was driving rather recklessly. Again, he was driving recklessly. If a policeman had seen him driving that way, he would certainly have issued him a citation. That doesn't establish the causal nexus we need here, that he was intoxicated while he was driving. Again, there were details that were supplied that apparently exist on a video that no one could produce for us here today. So we're left to wonder what exactly that video established. We also have witnesses who were not sequestered, who did hear the trooper's testimony and testified consistently with that. Big surprise. I think at the end of the day, the prosecutors failed to carry the burden to even establish by a preponderance that this crime was committed on that day. Thank you.
Thank you. Any rebuttal, Mr. Carnes?
Your Honor, I just point out that two witnesses did testify. I think it's to 10 to 20 minutes, and then there was the 1.5 hour and an hour. But nothing further. Thank you.
All right, based on the testimony heard today, I find that the prosecution has met their burden of meeting probable cause standard to bind the defendant over on the charged offense of operating while intoxicated or impaired as a third offender. In particular, I find that I will say this, the complaint says October 19th, all the testimony was October 18th, but the complaint does say on or about October 19th. So I will find that that's a close enough period in time. That while in Herring Township of Wexford County, which is where the property is described, the defendant was operating a vehicle. 3 witnesses testified that they observed Mr. Bigelow operate the motor vehicle. Ms. Wright testified that Mr. Bigelow had called her to come pick him up because he had been drinking and needed a ride. At some point, and I'll be honest, I'm not exactly sure as to when or how that happened, but Mr. Bigelow is the operator of the vehicle. The troopers, I'm sorry, the trooper Hoffmeister testified that when he had interaction with Mr. Bigelow, he had bloodshot, glassy eyes. He was sweating profusely, stumbling, slurring his speech, repeating statements and not making sense. Ms. Wright also testified that he could not stand up. Trying to find my notes here. That he was drunk, he'd hit the garbage cans, he couldn't stand up, he couldn't talk. That's consistent with all the testimony that I've heard today from the trooper. Now, I understand what Mr. Harrison is saying about not having the blood draw. However, when reading the charge, it says, well, under the influence of alcohol or while having a bodily alcohol content of 0.08. And then I look at the Michigan jury instructions of 15.2. Again, that says, well, under the influence of alcohol. The per se limit, as everybody, at least as of counsel knows, is just a per se that experienced drinkers could be a 0.08, but might not be acting intoxicated. That just means that they would be intoxicated. So for purposes of the preliminary examination, I find that the prosecution has met their burden of showing that the defendant was operating while intoxicated. Then to get to the third offense, I do find People's Exhibits numbers 1 and 2 show that the defendant has two prior convictions for operating while, one is operating under the influence. That's the 96 case. And the other is OUIL per se as a second offender. That is the 99 case. As such, the defendant will be bound over to stand trial in circuit court. Is there anything to address before I sign the bind over, counsel?
So, I have nothing.
All right, Mr. Bigelow, you are bound over to the circuit court to stand trial up there. Just a reminder that your bond conditions continue. All right, thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. Please do let us know in the comments what you thought of this video. If you'd like to support what we do here, the best way to do it is to pick up some of our merch. You can find it at courtroomfiles.com.